Yep, that's pretty much me right now. Just minding my own business and playing with plastic toys. Hello everyone and welcome. If you are too afraid or don't know how to make a Warhammer water base, well, you're in luck because today I try it for the first time. So buckle up and let's see how we go from this mess to this.
Le Burlot. Dans 20-30 ans, il n'y en aura plus.
Alright, I hope you are all doing well. My name is Hubert and today I have something to share with you. My ultimate goal is to collect at least one playable army from each faction, and I want every project to have its own unique look in my own grimdark way. I've done Necrons and Tyranids so far, and the base is where I can put them in their own setting. And as I'm slowly planning on my next army, Chaos Knights by the way, gathering information and slowly shaping an idea in my head is something I love doing. And I know you guys do it too. This adds up to the reasons why this hobby is awesome. So the idea today is to try epoxy resin for a water base, because I plan on doing special bases for my two Norn emissaries, Death Sleeper, and maybe the Hive Tyrant. I got a special kit from Green Stuff World, and it has all the basics we need, and you'll see it even has a nice little surprise for us. Costed me around 40 euros, and as I was a little lost in all that was available, it was perfect for me. Want to know why? Even if it might be a bit more expensive in a kit like that, at least I won't go on a shopping spree on their website.
You are cheap.
So, aside from the kit... Oh, wait a second. Well. This one is just for you, Rui.
Oh no! Well!
We are gonna need some tools, a ruler, some flexible plastic sheet to form a mold, cork, some texture, and I'll use a few different paints to create my little pond. I also got an old plastic brush container that I'll use as a pipe. It's huge, but the goal today is just to test things out, gather data and learn from what we do. That's why I won't go into details. I just want to get a rough idea of the process and, most of all, identify the key steps where I might fuck up.
Error. Your greatest fuck up was exiting the womb instead of remaining an uncompiled genetic suggestion where you could do no harm to logic or machine.
Thanks I guess. Alright, so I only have 2mm sheets of cork, not very thick, so I have to pile them up in order to create some terrain. I don't know yet how I'm gonna shape my Tyranid monster bases, but for this example, we will create a small pond, a creek or inlet, whatever, swamp, in order to test out the major steps: sealing, pouring and curing. Let's get this base in shape and painted. I'll use super glue for the first layer, then diluted PVA glue for the rest.
Observation. Your current cork is so thin it offends both the omnicia and the hive mind. Procure something with actual mass before your bases achieve liftoff.
It's on the way, and yes, these thin sheets were part of my struggle achieving the result I wanted. Anyway, let's get to it.
Engage the sacred machine rights. Like and subscribe if you want to receive further transmissions and appease the algorithm spirit.
In Ivory when I remember cause last and tainted glass. In Ivory when I remember cause last and it's just our and good and our and good and in Ivory when I remember cause last and tainted glass. In Ivory when I remember cause last and Only when I remember cause lost and tinted glass. Only when I remember cause lost and it's just
So far, so good. I will now use 2 shades of green to create the riverbed look that I want. I think it will look great if I do this in combination with dyeing the epoxy with a few drops of green. We will see. Next, time to add a bit of life to the bottom of the water with bits of fake moss and real stuff I got from my dyeing vivarium. The real stuff was disappointing, but in the process I made some research and I found that they make real fake green moss.
Alert. Your credit ledger displays a deficit of minus 23,562.4 euros. Continued acquisition protocols at this juncture would be classified as sanity-adjacent data corruption and may invoke the omniscient's wrath, or worse, a visit from the Martian Audit Skull Choir.
Oh, is that so? Nope, I must not. I already use a variation of grass on my Tyranid bases. I will have to wait and use this idea for another army. Who knows? It will be one of these 3. Orcs, Dark Angels, or Adeptus Mechanicus. Now that I think of it, a Dark Angel army in a mossy forest like the Forest of Fangorn from Lord of the Rings? Huh. And it's finally time to start working on the water itself by getting the base ready to receive the juice, the epoxy resin. I got this plastic sheet from a grass-stuffed box, just need to cut it straight and glue it to the corners of the pond. You might be wondering why I use superglue. It might be impossible to remove it afterwards. Well, first, it's none of your business. Then, I never said I was smart. Plus, I can always cut through the cork and retexture afterwards, and it will be fine. Next, I use PVA to seal the mold. Even with no experience, I knew this step was critical because failing to secure a proper seal would mean my resin mix would pour through any hole. And we don't want that. I think I did a great job, but as you will see, it wasn't enough. Let's move on to the epoxy resin and learn how it works.
Epoxy resin is a 2-part system made of resin, part A, containing epoxide groups, hardener, part B, containing amines or other curing agents. When you mix them together, a chemical reaction begins. This is polymerization, where small molecules...
Je vous ennuie. Oui, certes.
Genre, il va continuer à faire ça longtemps, lui?
Jour. Nuit. Jour. Nuit. Jour. Tiens, mon fidèle.
Ah, grand merci, Seigneur Hubert! Et là, il écrase la pomme de terre sur le tapis. C'est dégueulasse. Ça suffit. Venez à table avec nous. Et ben chez moi, tout le monde mange à table. Allez, venez. Ça me coupe l'appétit. Oh non, que nenni, que nenni!
Let's finish this. I use a scale to mix 100% part A with 50% part B, meaning 2 times more part A than part B, and add a few drops of green dye. Here the trick is to mix it very gently to avoid bubbles of air. If you get some, I read that applying heat to your mix can help. Once I get a good feeling about the consistency, let's pour it, and this is where the magic begins. I also use cotton from a Q-tip to create the illusion of water dropping from the pipe. Let's let it cure overnight, it should be enough, and time to take a look at the result. No worries, I think it spilled because I didn't seal high enough on one side, and at one point I think I tipped it over during the process. My bad, but it still looks okay. Let's remove the mold and clean it up. And yes, I had to remove some of the cork, but after adding a bit more texture, it will be like brand new. Alright, and now, let's see the finished water-based test project. This little base was a ton of fun, and in the process, I even got more ideas for my future projects. On a side note, after meeting and talking with lots of Warhammer players, I sense a lot of us are afraid of starting projects. By fear of screwing up, lack of time or inspiration, not only you will, over time, get more confident in your projects, but you will learn a lot and get more ideas along the way. But today I can give you this advice. And it's okay if you screw up. Small precision. This little project was just to test some stuff out. If I'd had to redo it on a real base, there are a lot of things I would improve upon, and you are welcome to share your own experience in the comments. As for me, I'm really excited for what's to come, and I'd love you to be there to share this journey with me. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, you know what to do. Anyway, I will see you next week, so until next time, happy painting!